I don't know who is there. My colleagues are there, this wounded and woozy man says of his co-workers left under the rubble of a restaurant in the eastern city of Kramatorsk, hit by a Russian missile strike. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky called the Russians savages for the attack that left several dead. The strike came as Russian President Vladimir Putin tried to project strength at the Kremlin, praising the Russian military for fending off what appeared to be a mutiny by Yevgeny Prigozhin and his Wagner mercenary group last weekend.
Your determination and courage and the consolidation of the entire Russian society played a key and decisive role in stabilizing the situation. People who were pulled into the mutiny saw that the army and the people were on their side.
But it's Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko who is taking much of the credit for ending Wagner's march on Moscow. Lukashenko is offering Prigozhin and the Wagner fighters an abandoned military base in Belarus and says his military will learn a lot from them.
We will be meeting with them and will insist to meet with our commanders at the polygons to show and tell about the tactics, armament, how to advance, how to defend. It is invaluable. That's what we need to learn from the Wagner.
The Biden administration is not impressed.
The decision by President Lukashenko to welcome Prigozhin to Belarus, I think, is another example of him choosing the interests of Vladimir Putin and choosing the interests of the Kremlin over the interests of the Belarusian people.
But no one, from Washington to NATO leaders meeting at The Hague, seems to know what happens next. Moscow says the Wagner group will be shut down and that it will hand over heavy military equipment to the regular Russian army. Putin had said the fighters, roughly 25,000 of them, could join the regular military, but Prigozhin says they won't do that. And there are questions as to how many Wagner fighters are still in Ukraine. That nation will be getting another $500 million in U.S. military aid, including heavily armored vehicles and missiles for air defense, the kind Kyiv hopes will ward off future attacks like this one. Andy Roesgen, TRT World, Washington.